minutes for the purpose of asking questions. I thank all of our witnesses for being here. It's exciting. We're in the golden age of digital assets, and we have a huge opportunity to move forward on two really important pieces of legislation in this committee and to see them ultimately signed into law, in particular stablecoin and market structure. I want to dive in a little bit on the stablecoin legislation, and I'll start with you if I can, Mr. Callison. I believe that stablecoins in particular give us a real opportunity to maintain dollar dominance across the globe. We've talked a little bit about use cases, and as a policymaker in general, I might not be concerned about the way that someone in Mexico, Panama, Peru, Nigeria, or another location is engaged in transactions. But what we actually see is when Stripe has a neobank in Mexico, or Bridge is used to distribute payments to workers across Latin America, that actually strengthens the U.S. dollar. Would you agree? Can you comment on that briefly?
Yes, I think it strengthens the U.S. in two ways. One, many of the companies engaged in the activity you're describing are themselves American businesses, and so they become stronger. But secondly, and I think this is what your question is getting at, it increases dollar demand, increases the demand for U.S. treasuries, and it in turn lowers U.S. borrowing costs.
Thank you very much. I'm going to come over to you if I can, Ms. Butler. Sometimes you'll hear people say that the banks don't like stablecoins don't like the bank. You all get this back and forth. But BNY Mellon's very engaged in the stablecoin space. Could you just put a little color as to what the value proposition is to your customers at your bank?
Thank you very much, Congressman. Yes, indeed, there is a number of different things. So first, the value proposition in the kind of near term is providing trust and security to stablecoin issuers as the reserve custodian. We also manage many different types of payment vehicles, so whether it is the instant payment vehicles provided through the Fed and a variety of different options for our clients. We want to be able to participate in the new and evolving options and mechanisms, stablecoins and blockchain technology just being an example of that, so that we can continue to meet the evolving needs of the market and our clients.
Thank you very much. I want to come to you, Mr. Cascarilla, if I can, to talk about how do we make stablecoins stable. In the updated draft that Chairman French Hill and I introduced, we were tweaking the language of what can be held by a stablecoin to back it. Could you provide a little bit of color based on your experience about stability, liquidity, and investor confidence in the PAX dollar and what you're backing that with and what we should be looking at?
Yeah, we've issued a number of different regulated dollar tokens. They all have the same exact reserve parameters, and generally having a maturity of less than 20 days, having overnight liquidity available through overnight repos that are over-collateralized by treasuries, plus having T-bills, and minimizing the amount that's held in bank cash, and where possible, buying private insurance to supplement FDIC insurance. And when you do that, you basically have, I think, the safest dollar in the world. It's safer than a dollar in a money market fund. It's certainly safer than a dollar that is above an FDIC limit in a bank. And I think that creates the confidence to be able to use a stable coin as if it's cash in your pocket, and that's the whole point.
Thank you very much. I want to use the remaining time that I have. I want to just touch base here with you, Ms. House, if I can. You were commenting earlier about the importance of AML, BSA, AML. Could not agree more with the importance of it. I think the question then is what policies we put in place to get this right. And I think in part, my big concern here is that we let perfection be the enemy of the good. What I mean by that is across the globe, people can engage in illicit behavior regardless of what technology is being used. And so if we think about when the Obama administration in 2016 sent literal pallets of cash to Iran, the first shipment, I think, had $400 million in pallets of actual cash, went to the Iranian regime. An amazing and disastrous policy decision, in my personal opinion, but remove the commentary, let's just analyze the cash. What controls were in place to track that cash once it left U.S. custody and entered the custody of Iran? Any?
Honestly, I wouldn't be familiar with that. I was in the Army.
But in general, you're familiar with cash. Would there be any
yeah.
tracking mechanism in place as that cash floated around the country of Iran?
It'd be very difficult.
It'd be really, really difficult, right? So if Iran was taking literally those pallets of cash provided by the Obama administration and was doing something illicit like funding terrorism, we know Iran is one of the, or probably is the number one funder of illicit finance. That's a really bad scenario. So although we could pick and choose and critique other legislation. We know actually that stablecoins is a major step forward from cash transactions, and I think we need to make sure that we don't allow perfection to be the enemy of the good. Recognizing the time, I yield back. I will now recognize the gentlewoman from Michigan.